Hi, I'm Petra. We're at my studio in Toronto, Canada. It's Sphinx, Pilates, and ELDOA. Today we have the beautiful Yvette Raposo with us. She is the creator of the Retreat, Find Your Fighter Within. And I'd like to ask her some questions. All right, would that be good for you?
It's good for me.
Good for you. All right. One of the questions I have that I get a lot from my clients when they read, they hear about the retreat that the Find Your Fighter Within retreat is Boxing and ELDOA. And they say, Petra, boxing? But I never want to box. And that's too aggressive. And how can that be combined? Well, let's get an answer.
I'm so glad you asked that. Actually, it's on a lot of people's minds, and I've been teaching boxing for over 20 years for fitness, for fun, and for fundamentals. And it's the same reasons that I fell in love with boxing, which is to help increase confidence, develop focus, footwork, agility, awareness of self, and to have fun. And so, in nature, by nature, what I teach is non-contact boxing training. And the beauty and what we experienced in our first retreat back in March was the connection that can be made between participants, between people. And even though it's non-contact, there's a certain level of focus and connection that can happen, this certain level of exchange that can happen when you're both trying to execute these drills and these movements that you're both learning at the same time. And we're living in a time right now where I am noticing, because of course I speak a lot about finding your fighter within, and that's not in a violent way necessarily, because the assumption is that boxing is violent, it's aggressive, it's angry, and it is dangerous. And I'm here to tell you and help people realize that fighter within is that fire, it's that energy, it's that feisty feeling that you have that you just want to put somewhere and you don't know where to put it. And the boxing space allows room for you to channel that type of energy, whether it's frustration or aggression or just excess energy, and to channel it through movement, embodying the movements of a fighter so that you can feel empowered and invigorated. Mm-hmm. So I love the combination with ELDOA because I am a student of ELDOA and I am Petra's student. And as soon as I got the ELDOA into my body, I made this immediate connection between boxing and ELDOA, where it's kind of like the yin and the yang, where boxing is the external, more kind of physical, aggressive type movements. And the ELDOA was the yin, which is very internal, very powerful in a very feminine, nurturing way, but very yet grounding way. And so, of course, when this retreat opportunity came up, which is an idea that I've had for at least 10 years, my first person in mind that I had in mind to co-host this retreat is with Petra. And here we are.
Yeah, and I'm very, very, very grateful. The experience that I had at the retreat in March was, I mean, I don't usually say this, but out of this world. I came back from the retreat and a client of mine said to me she has not seen me this happy in a very long time. So I think there's a magic energy, magic if you will, there has to be a better word for it, that is created at Bloom, north of Kingston. The retreat the space that you chose for this retreat, it's magical in the sense that, first of all, it's out in
north of Kingston and Lochborough Lake.
Yes, exactly, yeah. Exactly. So you're out in nature, but the architecture of the space in which you live and move is so inspiring, and I think it was designed with good intention
for the purpose of retreating. So Bloom is on 650 acres of land, and it's right on Lochborough Lake. So we are overlooking the lake when we're doing our movement sessions. Remember that?
I do.
And even in the dining area where food is locally sourced, and we have our own chef for the whole weekend. So the retreat is from the Friday till Sunday. So we arrive Friday for dinner, settle in, and then we leave by Sunday after lunch. And the whole weekend we have our very own team of people feeding us. You will not go hungry. The food is vegetarian. It's a vegetarian menu. However, we do also take into consideration any food sensitivities or restrictions. Okay, while you're thinking, we're good. You good?
We're good.
I got you. Find your fighter within.
Oh yeah,
Petra.
that's
I got
it.
you.
Grounding. I tell you, we work so well together, right?
So we've been trying to do this video multiple times. We did a really great one, but we did it the wrong way. And it's the first one is always the best one. And here we are, but we got this. Okay. The other thing I want to say between the boxing and ELDOA, I want to speak to you about where you're at in your life right now. And this idea, this concept of a retreat, I feel is so fitting right now. And the more I speak about our retreat and what I'm doing, because this is tied into the corporate speaking. So this is tied into my corporate events that I'm also offering, where I do team building and keynote speaking around this concept about find your fighter within. And I'm getting a lot of feedback from people where they're not sure how to take this fighter concept, find your fighter within. But here's the thing, there's a very primal need or desire right now to tap into that energy that is almost protective. We're living in a time where the world almost feels like a dangerous place. And I think intuitively people are wondering, they are curious about learning how to protect themselves, whether or not it's actually physically protecting themselves or feeling like they have some sort of control over the type of space that they take up in this world. So the concept of find your fighter within is not literal necessarily. It's a metaphor for really finding out what you are fighting for in this life of yours and how you want to move forward in life with the feelings and the mindset of a well-trained boxer who knows how to go the distance, who's trained to go the distance.
I'm also on that note. You did use there were some NLP parts to this retreat to help us formulate where we are right now and where we would like to be, and what we're frustrated with, and you know, we came from all walks of life and all age groups, and which it was really interesting to see how everyone shared where they are in their, you know, someone who's retired and then what they're dealing with, and someone who is you know, in their late 20s and the issues that they're dealing with. I think you did a great job at having us ask ourselves questions.
Yeah, right? It's NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. I do have my master's in it, which I achieved 15 years ago. And I loved the combination with NLP because the concepts in NLP are very much about where you're at right now and where you want to be. And again, I feel like this is a time right now where it's not enough anymore to think about where we came from and what's holding us back and what we need to let go of. We actually need to start envisioning who we want to be and how we want to get there and what's possible and how we do that. So in the Find Your Fighter Within retreat, combined with the movement part, which is the boxing and the ELDOA, to help to generate and stimulate those creativity juices, we sit in on my keynote speech, my session designed specifically for this retreat. It's the Saturday morning that we sit in the dining area overlooking the lake, and I go through my presentation and we do some journaling. It's very interactive and it really does stimulate, like Petra said, it really does activate different ideas about ourselves, and the session is designed to be specific to what you need to get from the session. So basically it's a workshop.
Yeah. The other thing that comes to mind now is the energy that was created. And I think by the end we were all so carried, like with your energy and the different elements, the movement, the meditation that we did, the music, right? It was truly, truly inspiring. And we all left feeling that we had been part of something really special. And there was this community. And sorry, go ahead,
Yeah, no, here's the thing, because I'm excited about this, because I'm really excited about this because this whole concept of a retreat, we've known about retreats for many, many years. And I just got back from Nicaragua and I was co-hosting a retreat out there called Box and Detox, and it was a 2-week retreat. And so, and this was off of the heels of our retreat in March back at Bloom, which is the one that we're repeating again in November. And I thought, there's something to this. I want to go out into the world and see what the response is to this whole idea about find your fighter within. My point is, I think people right now are a lot more open to combining travel with health and wellness. And people don't have time in their lives necessarily to even nurture or dig deep into, what is wrong or what habits they need to break or to gain clarity. And people are just too busy to even do that for themselves in their regular everyday lives. So the concept of a retreat is not just the value of what we have to offer. The value of the retreat itself is literally the idea of retreating, of gathering, of changing the scenery, having a change of scenery, being in an inspiring space, which is what Bloom is.
That's the word.
And getting down to business in an environment, in a supportive way, where you're surrounded by like-minded people doing the same things for themselves. So the combination of travel and health is a thing, and it's a very important combination right now that I think more and more people are open to doing.
Yeah, and I would say this retreat is very holistic. There's movement, there's mindset, there's nutrition, there's nature, there's a lot of giving, a lot of taking. It's really the whole package.
We're so excited.
Yeah.
We would love for you to join us. If this sounds like something that you would be interested in, we want full body yeses. We want to create an environment and an experience for women who are ready to step into their power, to find their fighter within, to ELDOA their arms,
That's right.
ELDOA their magic,
And their mind.
and their minds.
Yes.
And we are happy to be offering an early bird rate right now until May 23rd,
May 23rd.
which gives you 15% off the total price. It gives you first dibs on rooms with a view, and it gives you something to lock into your calendar and look forward to.
That's a really good point. It's a really good point.
Find your fighter within. Are you
That's
ready?
right. I'm ready. I'm ready.
November 24 to 26.
Come join us.
We'll see you there.
Love it.